Welcome to Talks with Don, episode 18. Today's episode is entitled Ways to Know Who Around You is an Energy Siphoner and Defenses Against Destiny Swapping Attempts. As always, first we want to get started with some libations for the ancestors. This is for the ancestors whose voices were heard. This is for the ones who wanted to step up, but due to oppression, didn't. This is for the ancestors. Ashe. Get some of that good energy. Get some of that good energy. Get some of that good energy. All right. As always, we're going to get started off with an excerpt, but this time it's going to be different. It's a song by yours truly, Donna Issa. It's entitled 818, The Key to the Crown. This is a snippet. At 18 years under the cross. All is not lost like a piggy couch. The Jews that I needed were inside, standing and cleaning. Now I'm able to floss. 717, I made you look. Went diving, it's a major hook. Over my crown, I'm amazed at crooks. These downloads cannot be played in books. I traveled the cosmos and fought the elevated rank. Now I'm playing the field. The throne is not for sale. Baby, I'm a man of steel. Reverse cool, coming in bands with real. Multi-dimension, hands are healed. This is something you cannot steal. At 18 is the time that I'm under the cross. All is not lost like I pick your head cost. The Jews that were needed are inside, steal them and clean them. Now I'm able to floss. 717, I made you look. Went diving, it's a major hook. Up on my crown, I'm amazed at crooks. These downloads cannot be played in books. I traveled the cosmos and 5D. Elevated rank, now I'm playing the field. The throne is not for sale. Baby, I'm a man of steel. Reverse cool, coming in bands for real. Multi-dimension, hands are healed. This is something you cannot steal. Okay, let's just say it's funny how things play out, but we're gonna get started. So I want to get started, and the introduction is gonna be source codes. So there's a difference between spirit, body, and soul. Most people have been on this plane many lifetimes, and we have a soul blueprint that all of our gifts, everything that we have been talented at, it's stored on our soul. So we come with the purpose of reincarnating to balance out karmic debt from past lives, to restore and balance earth energy. Along with this karmic debt, your soul carries a blueprint of the things you have mastered in previous lives, and you're supposed to use these gifts to help break generational curses, to find out what yours is. Think back on what attribute that has been attacked your whole life. If you don't know what your gift is or what your most powerful gift is, your most powerful gift is the one that has been attacked your whole life. So we're going to move on to the next one. And this one is the most important to sniff out energy siphoners and people that are attempting the destiny swap. Everything has an energetic signature. Be careful of things people try to give you: money, food, clothing, etc. And always be careful of people wanting to wear your clothes and shoes. Never give your shoes away to people that are less fortunate, or never give your shoes away to other people, family, friends, or anything. What do they call the bottom of our feet? Our souls. So that's why our soul is stored. So when you give your shoes away to people, they have access. If you haven't cleaned them off, or they haven't cleaned them off once they receive them, they have access to try to mix and mingle and cohabitate with your energy. So always watch food, money, anything that changes hands, clothing, etc. And okay, the next topic of this, we're going to get into occult magic. You have different sects, left hand and right hand path, and one's dedicated to distorting energy, to shift energy totally to masculine energy, but others devoted to balance of divine feminine and masculine energy and restoring balance to Gaia, Mother Earth, or Tiamat, which is a feminine energy. And along with these cults, some are dedicated to righteousness. There are groups of people, like we say, called covens and cults, who seek out people that have these source codes, i.e., healing, the ability to transmute energy, the ability to shift the energy grids on the earth. And they don't have them, and they try to transfer their karma onto people who are able to transmute energy. But everybody can't be energy siphoned, or you can't steal what's meant for somebody else. Yes, it can be delayed, but essentially you cannot steal what is meant for somebody else. So within these cultures, you have some that operate as bloodlines as far as family. And they operate with their blood family here on this earth. And I've had a female that was very intuitive, very gifted, tell me that you have people in these family cults, which is usually somebody that has been carrying it on from generation to generation. It's the oldest person in the family. And they move people around in their family like chess pieces to be able to siphon energy from chosen or people with these source codes. And a lot of times, the people that are being moved around like chess pieces, they don't know. But I want you, the viewers out there, to think back in your life outside of your family. If you don't know anything about what I'm talking about, who are friends or people that you just keep running into. You're not friends with them, maybe you acquainted with them, but you just keep running into them, and they always want to touch you, dab hands with you, exchange energy with you. A lot of times, that person is being used and manipulated and moved around like a chess piece to siphon energy from you. So, within these cults, you have disagreeable, malevolent entities that some of these courts have pledged allegiance to, and we always talk about there are 15 dimensions, and a lot of these malevolent entities that people have pledged allegiance to, they only can reside in the fourth dimension. So a lot of people with these source codes are able to travel between dimensions, interstellar. So they need hosts to be able to spy on people, on others that have the source codes, or others that have big storehouses in the astral realm, so they can travel and play in storehouses, which are storehouses, if we're talking about biblically, everyone has a storehouse of things that are meant for them if they are the ones to carry out purpose. And sometimes people can forfeit their purpose trying to steal someone else's purpose. And unfortunately, those people will have to reincarnate here in another lifetime to balance out all the disagreeable energy that they have put out trying to steal other people's purposes. So that leads me to the next topic. There are 15 dimensions. And the only way to get your storehouse, this is not the only way, let me correct it. There are 15 dimensions. And to get your storehouse, there's a correct way, a process of walking in purpose, healing, transmitting karmic energy to open it up for yourself. But there, like I said, are these societies that are dedicated to distorting divine feminine and masculine energy and trying to distort what is naturally a balance into just a masculine energy, which a lot of times, sometimes masculine energy operates out of ego. So a lot of times these societies are operating out of ego. So they have stolen knowledge, so they seek out people with great purpose to distort them into skipping the process of legally gaining what's meant for them. So a lot of times the powers that were, they dabble in storehouses that are not their own, and they distort what was not meant for them. And so we're in a time where the veil is lifted, where those things are no more, because there's a balancing out and a reset of energy. So the ones with these source codes, we can see who's trying to tap into our energy. So one of the ways that the enemy and his minions try to do it here on earth is they try to get you so emotionally involved with somebody that has succubus or incubus demons on them, so that you can go off on them emotionally, whether it be fighting, yelling, anger, lust, doing things to create a karmic loop for yourself, so that the Most High can delay your storehouse. So the next thing we're going to talk about is family handlers. This is the most important out of the information that I'm putting down in this video. Out of every family, there's always one that's the chosen, that has the gifts, that's the one to break generational curses, transmute energy, balance out energy. So what this looks like, a lot of times, the chosen ones in families, they will be singled out in what you'll call the black sheep. But a lot of times those are the ones that are the generational curse breakers, because people can sense the energy and they see the energy on those people from a youth. So what it looks like in family, when these people want to intercept what's meant for you or distort your energy in another direction, there's somebody in your family that's a handler. So family handlers, what they look like is every time you try to embark on a new journey, they try to talk you out of it. They constantly have a need to be around you by way of gatherings, phone calls, or text message. And what did I say? Everything has an energetic signature. So text messages have an energetic signature. Conversation has an energetic signature. People touching you has an energetic signature. So they reach out to you by way of phone, by way of text message, ask you to touch them, all kind of things, just to be able to siphon some of that healing energy, which is what a lot of chosen ones have. And what they're trying to do through text messages and phone calls, conversations, and touch is engage in contracts with a chosen one. So everything is an energetic signature. But the most powerful energetic signature that the enemy uses to make contracts with people is sexual energy, because it's a creative energy. So a lot of times, in order to get what's meant for you, you have to be able to discern and stay away from people with these energies and kind of refrain from sexual promiscuity, because that's the biggest tool where men and women get distracted off of that path. So the next one we're going to talk about are defenses. Some of the defenses are claiming what's meant for you, using your voice to speak power over yourself, clean eating, foods that produce energy like alkaline vegetables to give you an energetic shield, not using drugs that keep your energy clouded and keep you from clarity. That's another one of the biggest tools that the enemy uses to keep you in a karmic loop. So using all of the elements to protect oneself, some of the most powerful are sun and water, which these are vital for life. Ashe. Wow. This was a good one. But There are people that know who they are. There are people that know who you are before you know who you are. There are people that you cannot do this to. I'll give an example recently of something that I witnessed, not personally, but this is something that I witnessed, and spirit ancestors told me what it was. There's a music mogul who just passed recently, but years ago, he tried to X one of his enemies out, who now is a mogul, not in music, but in the film industry. And my first thought about this is, wow, if that would have happened back then, think about how many lives would have been changed if that one guy was to go out when his enemy tried to take him out back in the day. He tried to mess with divine order. So there are consequences for trying to mess with divine order. Essentially, when you try to steal from chosen ones, you're trying to steal from God, or what we know as God, or you're trying to steal from divine order. But the trick of the enemy is he gave a lot of these people gifts that didn't belong to them by way of nefarious things, so they have been given over to a reprobate mind of what I'm doing is right. Even though they know it's not right, but they still try to convince themselves that it's right. And there are consequences for dealing with chosen people and trying to steal energy and attempting to destiny swap with chosen. I just gave you the example of what I was talking about. Kid you not, everybody that has ever tried to do anything harmful to me, you know, they've experienced great karma. I won't say what type of karma, but when somebody is in divine order and you attempt to mess up divine order, there's a price to pay for that. The only way that you can get what's meant for you is doing the healing. And what healing looks like, it's uncomfortable because you have to face your shadow self and face what you don't want to face. A lot of people would rather leech on to somebody else that has done the healing, that has that high vibration or magnetic energy, because they don't want to do the work, because it's too hard for them to face their childhood traumas. So, man, I haven't experienced a lot of the things that people have experienced in their childhood, and these are most of the reason people do not want to heal, because they don't want to relive the trauma from their childhood. But that's the only way to shed those layers, is to clear that energy and replace it with something positive. So one of the defenses, like I always said, is healing, speaking power over yourself, putting alkaline foods in your body, and not using drugs to keep you clouded, keep your energy clouded, and distort your clarity. So, chosen ones, if you are out there and you know people are attempting to siphon your energy and you can see who it is, you don't have to address it, because with me, I see who it is. Very gifted, but I just let it roll off. Roll off, ignored. Because, like I said, a lot of times all people want is an energetic reaction from you to be able to sow cords into you and create a hole in your aura to keep you attached to them. So a lot of times, one of the best defenses is learning how to control your emotions. Thank you for listening. Like, share, subscribe. Love, peace, healing. Let's continue to raise the vibration of the collective. Ashe. Thank you.